Welcome back. Let's spend a minute thinking about fixed cost versus average fixed cost. So fixed cost is a cost that does not vary with the quantity of output. So if we look at it in a graph, right, we've got fixed cost. And what does it look like? Well, it's not all that entertaining. So we're thinking about dollars versus quantity. And what did we say? Fixed cost does not vary with the quantity of output. So it's just some fixed amount. Doesn't matter how much we produce. This thing is just a horizontal line. Right? This is our fixed cost. Choose a number. Call it $500. Not very exciting. What about average fixed cost though? So average fixed cost. Average fixed cost isn't all that exciting either compared to some of these other curves, but at least it's more exciting than just total fixed cost. All right, so average fixed cost, if we're looking at that price, so we're thinking in terms of dollars, or that cost in terms of dollars versus quantity, what's that look like? Well, for 0 units, doesn't really make sense because you can't take a number and divide by 0, right? So let's start with 1 unit then. So at 1 unit, what's the average fixed cost? Well, that means all these fixed costs are getting assigned to that 1 unit. So it's $500, right? So $500 for 1 unit. But what happens if this firm produces a second unit of output? Now it's taken this $500 of fixed cost, think about it maybe as rent. That's a really common example for this. That $500 of rent is now spread across 2 units. So what's the average rent that we have to pay for each unit produced? So when we have 2 units, now that average fixed cost has been cut in half. All right, so it's now $250. What about if they produce 3 units? So at 3 units, now this $500 is getting split across all 3 units. So now you're talking about something like, what, $167-ish dollars. What if they produce 4 units? Now this $500 is spread across 4 units. So now what's your average fixed cost? Well, it's $125. And if they produce 5 units, the math becomes easy. $500 spread across 5 units is just $100 worth of rent for each unit produced. So what's happening, the average fixed cost, as it's being spread across more and more units, the amount assigned to each unit, or the amount of rent allocated to each unit, if you want to think about it that way, is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So what does this average fixed cost curve look like? Something like that. Average fixed cost. So it'll never actually get to 0 because there is a fixed cost, but as we spread it across more and more units, it approaches 0. Hopefully you're getting a feel for why does this average fixed cost decrease as we increase the number of units, and why does it sort of flatten out as it goes. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.